By the way, if you hear a knock, if somebody can answer. What's up, everyone? Sorry, just giving a few notes to the boys here. We are working with an external contractor right now on something for our building. So if one of them disappears, don't be upset. They just want to make this a nicer building for us to work out of. Hope you're all doing well. I think this is our last pre-Christmas live stream here. Woo! So I'm pretty excited because look at these beauties. Oh, it might be too bright today in the shot. Let me see if I can get up close. Look at that. There you go. Chrome Enterprise. So we've mentioned before, Promevo is a Google partner. We love doing everything to support your holistic Google journey and everything about your Google life journey. And it's nice to know that you're appreciated. And Google obviously appreciates us because they sent us a really nice gift package today. So to the Chrome Enterprise team, happy to support you all. Always love making content for you. Thank you so much for the gifts. I have only previously been able to afford knockoff Yetis, so to have an actual one makes me feel like one of the cool kids finds.
It's a stepping stone.
So yes, it is. I love stones and stepping on things.
Our next job are to be real Yetis.
That's right, exactly. Well, that's my winter look anyway, is full Yeti. So we want to cover some things here today. I think this will be a fun, quick one. I'm sure you've seen Google in the news recently. I want to read some of my notes. I thought this was actually really cool, and I want to keep this to business. So Google recently just started a brand new video series called EDU in 90. And when this stream is done, I will actually place a link to this video series here. So let me just read you specifically what this is from Google so that I don't misquote them. EDU in 90 is a video series from Google for Education with new episodes that occur 3 times each month. In each episode, Google will focus on an important topic for educators, administrators, and school leaders for things like product updates, new programs, and helpful resources for the classroom, kind of like we're doing here for all of you, right? So if you go on YouTube, look up Google for Education. They have their own channel. You can subscribe to that channel. You can subscribe to us here since I didn't know how to say subscribe. And that way you make sure you don't miss an episode of theirs. And don't miss an episode of ours because we will constantly remind you about this being out there. I think that that's an awesome feature. I'm pretty excited. It's something that we try to put out those kind of pieces every so often too. But I love when Google's making their own content that way because they know exactly what they want to share with you, and they're the first ones to have access to the updates in the first place.
Yep.
So I'll sip out of my Chrome Enterprise cup to that. What about you boys?
That's a toast.
You guys have your Promevo cups today. Well, look at them staying on brand. I've got my Chrome Enterprise cup, my Canadian retailer clothing on. Who am I? The other fun thing I wanted to talk about today, and this is way less business focused, but it is Google focused. And as somebody who has really dove deep into the Google infrastructure, I love all of my Google Home products. And maybe you've seen this because it has something like 11 million views as of last time. One of my favorite childhood stars, the incredible Culk himself, Macaulay Culkin, just did a Google Home commercial, which awesome. You may see. It's really great. What's really funny is Holland last year, as I point awkwardly to him, I'm like, yeah, that's not how that works. But it doesn't translate to screen. Holland had an idea about doing something similar here. Obviously not with the pull of Macaulay Culkin, but a Chrome Alone video, which, by the way, Google, you could pay us royalties for that name. A Chrome Alone video involving that. So it was really nice to see. It was nice to see Macaulay Culkin do something, and it's a great video that shows off and extols the virtues of the Google Home infrastructure as far as filling your home with all kinds of fun products and things of that nature, as we are Google homeowners ourselves. Not actual homeowners, but we own Google Home.
Let's just give a quick throw to the dedication to rebuilding the set of that movie.
That was very impressive.
Very touching.
I feel like that's how you can tell we're on the production side. Is all of us were sitting there thinking like,
wow, that wallpaper's the same.
Yeah, exactly. Did they? And I remember at one point we were like, I think those are the same off-brand fake snacks that they use in the actual Home Alone movies. But regardless, it's really cool. If you haven't used a Google Home device before, I much prefer it to the Amazon Alexa. It's infinitely less creepy. It does not talk to me. It's never comforted me while I was crying, like the Amazon Alexa has. You should look that story up. It's super creepy. Super weird. Do you ever hear that? It was some story about a young woman who owned one, was upset, and then the Alexa said, "Don't worry, it'll be okay." I would have burnt my house down.
Yeah,
but not my Google Home. I wouldn't have burned that down. It's been very nice to me. It gives me my weather. It gives me my news on the regular. And if you have a Google Pixel like I do here, you can actually set routines both through the device and through your home device, and then cast it. It's great. It's all very integrated. So the commercial's great. If you haven't seen it, it's super cute. Highly recommended. Good on you, Google. Doubly good on you for the Google and the EDU 90-second thing. I definitely think that's something that our friend, good old Tom Mulaney out there would enjoy. Is that right? I'm hoping, Tom, you are our viewer today. I'm trying to pull up. Tom actually sent me a question about something that he wanted me to bring up on the stream today. And I wanted to mention this before I toss over to James for another Tom Mulaney and education-related thing. But Tom reached out to me today and was curious about with EDU and Chromebooks. And Tom writes, hey, something, sorry, I'm just going to read directly. Hey, something I've been curious about with EDU Chromebooks is gyroscopes. iPads have them. My awesome Asus C302 has one. I also think it's awesome, Tom. I want EDU Chromebooks to have them so that we, and Tom is an educator, to be clear with you, to get the best of Google Expeditions and the Google Tour Creator. I think that's a great idea. I'm actually sort of surprised that we haven't seen more in the way of gyroscopes and devices here. And I know this is not, I typically do the device reviews separately, which reminds me, stay tuned as we did some last minute edits today on our Acer Chromebook Tab 10 review. I would assume you should see that Monday morning, provided everybody likes the changes that we made. But yes, I think that the accelerometer, not just the gyroscope, but the accelerometers in the Chromebooks will be huge, especially because Google Expeditions, if you're not familiar with it, is a classroom-based, effectively virtual reality system. So the idea is that an educator or an administrator can take a tablet and control, I forget the total count, but I think it's something like up to 50 devices, don't quote me, but multiple devices, enough to fit a classroom of students that they can all engage in like virtual reality learning lessons using Google Cardboard headsets, or depending on the school's budget, maybe something like the Daydream, which is an upgraded version of the Google Cardboard headset. So this is a really cool feature. So I am hopefully just trying to use our presence here to just remind everybody that, hey, the audience would really like to see these kinds of things into education Chromebooks. This means a lot in the tech space. Google Expeditions is one of the coolest things. We've done a video on it a couple of years ago, and I would assume it has only gotten cooler and more, capable in the time that virtual reality has become more popular and readily available. When we were working on that at first, Google Cardboard was kind of one of those things that people looked at you like, what?
You're playing with cardboard.
Right. And how is that not their slogan? You're playing with cardboard, But again, I think that's a cool idea. So if all of you are in agreement with me on that, let's let our manufacturers know that that's something that we'd like to see, especially in the EDU Chromebooks. Hey, why not have them in all of the Chromebooks, right? I can't imagine it would add a huge amount more to the cost. But then again, I've never built a piece of equipment, so I don't know. But speaking of things Tom Mulaney has been doing, James, I think you've got a little story for us today on, is it Google Canvas?
Yes, so it is Chrome Canvas from Google, I believe is the name, who Tom Mulaney also, I think, just did a little piece on. But Google's released a web app entitled Chrome Canvas that can be located on the Chrome-specific URL, canvas.apps.chrome. And what this is just imagine like a blank canvas, or you can import a picture from your device, your Chromebook, or your portable phone, because since it is a progressive web app, you can install it on an Android device. Cool. But it's just like a web-based drawer, and it's one big feature that a lot of people are excited
Not to be confused with where you put your clothes when you're not wearing them.
I know we ran into this problem the other day where we had to sign a PDF. What this would essentially allow you to do is not have to use a third-party application or download the PDF and save it. You could just web draw on it with this through Chrome Canvas. And because of that, I mean, it's, it seems like a small feature, but when you really start breaking it out of like how many use cases it could actually have, I mean, it's just another cool thing that Chromebooks are going to have here. I think actually right now. Yeah, well, and let me mention, I know we mentioned Tom a second ago, but Tom and his channel, Tom does a lot of EDU-focused Chrome content, something that we like to do. If you've heard, we mention his name often because he's very interactive with us on the channel. We love you for it, Tom. And Tom actually also was a guest star when we did one of our pieces on the Google Jamboard last year. But Tom also just released a video showing off Google Canvas. I feel like, I don't know why I keep feeling like I'm saying it wrong, but that you can actually watch on his channel, which I think, and Tom, feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, or tweet it at me. I'm pretty sure he's just youtube.com/Tom Mulaney. So again, after this video is over, I will come back and update the additional info section where I'll link to his video too, so you can check that out, get some love. I'm pretty sure I saw he tweeted earlier that our friends over at Chrome Unbox also shared this. So shout out to them for being lovely humans. So yeah, no, I agree with you, James. I think this is a huge, I can't even imagine. I mean, on the business side, it's got to be huge for productivity. You mentioned the signing documents. That's
already
great
right there. Such a huge thing that I have found myself over the years, like, have to
electronically sign a PDF. Let me download 2 applications and sign up for a paid version so I can do this without having watermarks.
How many fake email addresses do we have to sign up for before we can do exactly what we want with one click? So I think this speaks to the Chrome updates, the Chrome environment.
Quick, fast,
right.
efficient.
And they're also just doing stuff. They're like, hey, that's a problem. Yo, I'll solve it. Check out the hook while my DJ revolves it. And for those of you who don't remember Vanilla Ice, neither does he probably. But no, I think I really think that's a great idea. And I think it has so many potential uses. I mean, and we're not even talking about things. Imagine an art student using that.
Absolutely.
Just be able to go, it would make quick digital manipulation, which is something that we as creators struggle with sometimes in the Chrome OS, which is there's not a whole lot of creative applications that are as powerful as are available on, say, Mac OS or on Windows, so this is another one of those ways that this is going to add.
Something I forgot to mention is that if you're signed into your Google account, that'll save to your drive, and you can also export anything you draw as a PNG as well.
That's awesome. So yeah, I hear nothing wrong with this.
Nope.
That's
not
awesome. Not a thing. Perfect. Was there another one, or did I cut you off?
Oh, no. I think that now we can throw it over to our Chrome OS updates, man.
The king of Chrome OS updates himself,
Here comes
Mr. Holland Ray. You need a theme song. Updates.
All right, so these are Chrome updates. Some of the big features rolling out soon for Chromebook users with the OS 71 start with the native integration of Google Assistant.
Oh, that's huge.
Yep. With Assistant no longer being tied to Android apps and instead into Chrome OS, rolling out support to other Chromebooks should come along quickly. Another addition is the rollout of the Family Link, allowing parents to monitor screen time on their children's devices, customize lists of visible websites, as well as review and approve apps. In Chrome OS 72, in the Chrome OS 72 beta, 2 noticeable features include the ability to install Gboard, Google's ever-updating keyboard from the Play Store, as well as blocking pop-ups during a page unload. Chrome normally has a pop-up blocker, but with this additional feature, it will restrict pop-ups whether the blocker is enabled or not, which is awesome.
Yeah, that's like 2 layers of protection there. I think the parental features are key. And what's funny is I am sure that certain administrators and schools will love things like that. It sounds like a very rudimentary version of things we offer through gPanel, for example, where it's just and this is sort of cool about Chrome in general, right? Where you get these mild management features that are rolled out through the OS itself. And they mentioned it great there. Google Assistant, if you haven't used it, it is leagues better above any of the competition. If you're I love Samsung devices. I occasionally even love Apple devices, but for me, Google's infrastructure seems to be the best. I like it the most, and it's maybe a little bit personal preference, but Google Assistant is almost too smart for its own good, right? The only times I've ever had issues with it is if both my phone and my Google Home hear me activate it, and then they try to talk to each other, like when you call 2 Chinese restaurants and then conference call them together and listen to the mayhem ensue. Can you tell I've made prank calls as an adult? No, I think that's an awesome feature. And then having that Google Link, being able to actually monitor the usage too. It's like all these smart little features that keep getting rolled out through Chrome for the users that I'm assuming, I know we echo a lot of Chrome's or Google's sentiments in the way they handle their customers, which is where I'm always saying in these videos, like, hey, tell us what you want to know. Tell us what things you want to see covered. And Google's the same way. They're like, hey, what features are we missing? Because, it's just like anything else. My specific use case may not be the same as Holland's or James or a business owner or somebody that works in the business or a student or an educator, things of that nature. So I think it's really cool that they've kept this open line of communication with everybody because there's just so much like this. This is the first time I get to be the cameraman here at work, but there's just so much content and so many things to cover. I think the pop-up blockers are genius.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, they're already, as is their ad blockers are great. And I know we talked about, I think it was I think it was last week we talked about how they are rolling out some new features with regards to advertisement blocking too. And they're trying to kill the autoplay music or autoplay videos, maybe it was. And I'm sorry for not memorizing our live streams from multiple weeks ago. But little things like that, that's a huge, it all falls under like quality of life updates. But those are huge updates, How much do you hate hot pop-ups? Raise your hand. that's a quantity. I'm like, see, it's out of the frame. That's how much I dislike pop-ups.
3 people.
You know, what's that meme we see about it? It's like, oh, like thinking in my head is kind of like being on the internet, which is I have 100 tabs open about different things all at once, and music's playing somewhere, and I can't figure out how. And having these sorts of features added, though, that's huge. That's going to change the game. This is why Chrome is getting adopted so frequently. I think this is why businesses are taking it on quickly. I think this is why it's really taken off in the education space. But of course, tell me that I'm wrong. That's the point of this. I haven't had too many questions in the chat today, but of course, I'd always like to ask. One little bit of news I read right before we came out here, again, courtesy of Gabriel over at Chrome Unboxed, so feel free to visit them as well. I heard for our buddy Alfie, who's usually in the streams, who's usually lamenting his inability to get high-quality Chromebooks over in the UK. Well, Alfie, do I have great news for you and all of our other users over in the UK? Guess what? The Acer Spin 13 is now available for all of you over there for purchase. So go to your nearest Chrome retailer. I don't know why I'm having trouble talking. It's like, am I having a stroke, guys? I don't know. But no, get over there and get the Acer Spin 13.
It's an awesome Chromebook.
It really is. It's, I think, going to replace my R13, also from Acer from the year before, as my daily driver. It's got just a little bit more oomph, a little higher quality screen. It is a seriously awesome device. There have been a lot of discounts happening on it in the US over the holidays. So this is always a really great time to jump into the Chrome market if you haven't already. And if you haven't already, why not? You're watching these videos. You know that they're great. You know I wouldn't sell you anything terrible, probably, unless the commission was right? Isn't that right? Producer of content. I don't know where I was going with this. I was trying to think. I was like, which one of the Chromebook purveyors do I want to send me money? But no, all joking. But no, I would never try to push something bad on you. I know I've said this repeatedly throughout the show's tenure here that I've been using Chrome prior to working for the company. And I think that's partly what helped me get the job in the first place, is I was pretty aware of the infrastructure coming into Promevo. So dive in with us. If I don't have any questions, I'm going to go ahead and call it today. We've had a nice little stream. Happy holidays to all of you out there celebrating a holiday, or unhappy holidays to those of you who are lamenting having to go hang out with their families over the next weekend, or if you're not celebrating anything. But all kidding aside, I really appreciate everybody. Thanks for giving me a great 2018. We have got a lot of craziness in store in 2019. We've got, in the next couple weeks alone, we are heading out to the CES in Las Vegas, the Consumer Electronics Show, where we are going to get some behind the scenes, behind closed door access to some of the top Chrome-related products that'll be announced and shown off there.
It'll be great.
I'm super excited about that. And we're in the process of booking a bunch of really cool interviews we like to do every year. We'll go to a bunch of the education and business conferences that are Chrome-focused or just, focused on tech. And we have coming up at the end of January, the Florida Education Technology Conference, which is a huge conference for educators and those in the technology world. And we are lining up a ton of interviews for that. And if you'd like to see kind of the content we'll do, last year we did a piece called What's the Future of Education Tech Look Like in 2018. Highly recommend diving into that to get a taste of what we're going to do. And this year, I'm going to have even better guests on the show, and I'm super hyped for it. So seriously, thank all of you for your support. Thanks to our company for the support, for having us do and getting way more creative with the content. And we love doing this. I love interacting with you guys. It's been really fun being a part of the company. So thank you for everything. And on that note, I guess I'll just say goodbye. No questions. This is a great time. So
happy holidays.
Happy holidays as I wave in. I need a remote clicker to end the stream.
Still waiting.